morning. As many of you have seen coming to church this morning, we have lots of things going on. We're celebrating Jane's retirement. After 40 years, Jane has decided to retire from the church. She has sold her house in Paddock Lake and is going to be moving to Burlington. Here is a list of the pastors that Jane has served under since she started here. As you can see, she started in 1963, which is by a chance before I was born. Well, actually, no, you started in 67, Jane? Is that right?
68.
68, okay. Sorry, I was 4 years old, so I was... but as you can see, with the exception of Arvid Maury, that was the only pastor she didn't serve under as she was taking time to raise her children. I'd like to open up the floor right now. We have one of the pastors, and then I also have some letters from former pastors. So since Pastor Joe Mitchell's here, I'd like to start with him for any kind of words.
I think you know, even better than I, what grace she has been to this congregation. Persistently, patiently, graciously, to work with us, to take care of us even when we were far from making her job easier. She has typed and sent and communicated the grace of God in so many newsletters, bulletins, letters, phone calls, that we cannot begin to offer thanksgiving to her or to God for her inestimable ministry through these many years. It is a gracious gift she has offered us. We are in great gratitude, now and always. Thank you, Jane.
There she is.
I think I can read them from here.
Okay.
I have letters from Pastor Jean and Pastor John Claude Bartlett. They could not come today, and in their letters, you will find out why. The first one is from Pastor Jean. It says, "Dear Jane, I am sorry that we cannot be there with you today, but send our best wishes for a day of celebrating. We have so many memories of working together with you at Salem UMC. You are always patient and kind, willing to do almost anything that was needed to make this happen. I am sure your biggest challenge was to be administrative assistant to 2 Bartletts in the church office. When we came to Salem, our kids were young. I had this wild idea that God was calling me into ministry and started seminary. You gave encouragement to me, not knowing that in a few years I would join John and be a pastor at Salem United Methodist Church as well. I remember you moving to your new office at the church from the basement of the parsonage. After the education wing was built, how exciting that was for you and the church. From typewriter to computers and all the programming that follows you, you were faithful. The different types of copying machines followed. There were the ever-memorable mimeograph machines that were ever so messy. How wonderful that you could end up using fancy colored printers and copiers. Oh, and you still have that huge black safe in the closet of your office that could hold anything that was needed to be kept. Thank you for your faithfulness in working with us. We send you our love and prayers, Jean Bartlett." And the second letter is from Pastor John. "Hello, Salem UMC, Jane, Jim, and family. I will not be with you today. Since retirement, I have had both knees and both hips replaced. The last hip was done at the end of July. I was doing well until I fell and dislocated the artificial hip. It was so awful. So I am grounded, and I'm full leg brace and sad I cannot be there. church, and Amy, their daughter, has never forgiven us for leaving. When we say home, all three kids still say Salem, and James is always a part of it. Every pastor that has one church as his home, and if we had another place to retire, it would be there in Salem. Congratulations, Jane. You will always hold a special place in our hearts and the life of the church. Remember all those darn old typewriters and copy machines we thought were great and now are antiques. Blessings, John Claude Bartlett.
Next is going to be a letter from Mary Lou, and this is what Mary Lou wrote, and I'm not going to read all this, so I'll let my wife read it.
Dear Jane, how we wish we could be there to celebrate the important ministry you've provided for the Salem United Methodist Church over the years. Please know that Bill and I are there in spirit. A church secretary is so much more than many people realize. The position carries many responsibilities, being the first one people see or speak to when contacting the church, being a confidant and an encourager for the pastor, who at times will drive you crazy, being responsible for getting out newsletters and nudging the pastor when time is short, again, who is at times driving you crazy, putting all the necessary information in the bulletin for the coming services. Again, the pastor is sometimes the last one to get you the information and drives you crazy. Coming up with statistics, information, and general information at a moment's notice. Not only the pastor, but others can drive you crazy over this one. Coming to worship and being peppered with questions that only the secretary can answer. So much for just being able to worship like a normal person. Cleaning a whiteboard with toothpaste after someone used permanent marker instead of washable markers as instructed. Knowing exactly who to call when an emergency comes up. Smiling when someone has jammed the copy machine and has left it for you to fix. Keeping a confidence shared by a parishioner, and many, many more tasks that most everyone in the congregation takes for granted, including the pastor. All of these things and more, I might add, are completed at a lower compensation than most people in the real world would accept. You see, I can mention all of these things because I have, over the years, been a member of the congregation and a pastor guilty of most, if not all, of the above-mentioned things. You have always been there for me, whether as a church member, pastor, or most importantly, a friend. It is impossible to put into words just what your friendship has meant to me over the past 35 or 40 years, so I am not even going to try. Our husbands have harassed us about our 2-3-hour lunches, like there is something wrong with that. We have responded with good humor and by ordering dessert. Thank you for being an important person in my life, much more than you know. I pray that you and Jim will enjoy your retirement and all the blessings of lives lived in service to others. I know you will be missed, for your presence in the office has been a source of comfort and inspiration to everyone. Retire well, my friend, knowing that you have given your life for this church and congregation. Enjoy. Much love, Mary Lou.
Next letter I have is from Pastor Grace, and I will read this one. Congratulations, Jane. Thank you for being part of my partner in crime these 3 years I served at Salem. I couldn't have done it without you. You started me on the right foot, taking time to orient me not only with the day-to-day needs of the church, but also giving me contents on the ministries of Salem. You were such a great help in putting things into perspective and giving continually into the life of the church, making the transition smoother for the church. Even as you worked to become friends with my predecessors, you didn't compare me with them. You allowed me to be me and support my pastoral needs and wholeheartedly. I saw that being an administrative assistant at Salem is not only a job, but a ministry. Well done, good and faithful discipline. faithful disciple. You are such a great resource, not for me only, with your professional skills, but also your wisdom and knowledge of the history of the church and Salem. Thank you for extending your hand of friendship to me and Chris and me. Open your hearts for us for meals and when with you and Jim. You were cherished times of belonging. Thank you for the letters, letting us get to know you and your family. I thank Jim as well for crafting, woodworking for me and sharing the Kit Kats for me every week. Thank you too for letting me experience your GTO. It was so much fun. You were a team then, and I can imagine you continue to be a beautiful team. I pray for more things for you in your next stages in life. Blessings to you and Jim with much great gratitude and love. Pastor Grace Kajua. Salem, 2009 to 2012. Okay, next one is Pastor Calissa Martinelli was not able to be here today as she's preaching up in West Bend, but I did see her yesterday. She stopped out and she gave me a card for you, and you want to come get it now or we can come get it afterwards?
I'll get it afterwards.
Okay. Next person is going to be Pastor Keith.
So, I have almost nothing to add. I do have a question. There were Kit Kats? Why didn't I know about that?
The source passed away a few years ago.
Oh,
It was a friend that Jim would go and visit on Monday mornings, and she'd always send Kit Kats, a handful, and he would stop in and share with Pastor Grace.
okay. That clears that up. I'm a short timer here as far as pastors go. But I learned early on the value of the church secretary, particularly one that was as dependable and knowledgeable and just such an all-around faithful servant as Jane. You talked about church secretaries kicking aside buildings. And when that was called for, you would do that. When something a little more subtle was called for, you would do that too. And you were always patient when I came into your office and would ask a question. I'm sure there was some eye rolling after I left. But you were always very patient with me, and I appreciate that. And not only the depth and scope of your secretarial service and your just administrative service in running the church, because we all know that the secretaries actually run the church. The pastors are just here on Sundays to talk a little bit, and you guys run it. But I also appreciate the fact that you have so much history in your head about the people here and about the community, that I could come in and talk to you and ask a question, and you'd say, oh, there's so-and-so's, cousins twice removed, and, they used to live up here. Okay, and that helps. It helps to know all of the interconnections, and I appreciate that as well. I know that you will enjoy your retirement. I know you're looking forward to it, and for that, I'm happy. I will be sad to see you go, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Okay, I'm going to hold you to that. Thank you very much for all you've done.
Anybody else who would like to make a comment to Jane up on the floor?
Jane, thank you for supporting me through these years. I'm sure I've been a source of frustration at times, but was mentioned by Mary Lou. When I served as SPRC chair, I recognized that Jane has just a boatload of institutional knowledge, and asked, can you please put some of this down as a little go-to guide for those of us in the future that may need to try to fill that desk that you're vacating. And so Jane graciously did that, but thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us and always being there when we pick up that phone and say, Jane? You're awesome. Thank you, and good luck.
I'd just like to say that when I put together that little book about for the 135th anniversary of the church, Jane was the prime source of all the history, and she showed me where to look things up, but a lot of times she filled in the gaps. And I could not have put that together without her extensive help. So I think what everybody's been saying is she does know a lot of church history, plus she also knows the community. So she is able to bring all that together, and she's a great source of that kind of information, as well as the parts of the church.
Yes, I've known Jane since she was probably 3 or 4 years old. And her mother and father were terrific people, and they raised her right, along with everything else. Jane has been a source of comfort for me. She's helped me through deaths in the family. She's helped us all. Whenever we need her, Jane is on the end of that phone, or a quick text message to her, or anything we want. It's always Jane we turn to first, and I appreciate you so much, Jane. Love you.
Anybody else?
I guess once again on behalf of the music ministry, thank you so much for your hard work, Jake. Thank you for putting up with Stan and myself in our crazy schedules, and especially all the times when I say, Jane, we're not doing this piece, we're going to do that one instead, or we're doing this piece next week. I'm sure Stan was even worse at times, but he was, I know he was. Thank you for all your hard work.
Okay. Next, as Jane is, you can't leave our church without the church doing something for you. And it was kind of hard because trying to send an email out to everybody in the church using your computer was kind of tough. All right, so but we managed to pull something off here. So what I did is we collected money and got her, and I created a places of some of your favorite places you like to go to with gift cards. Knowing that you're moving to Burlington and you're looking to downsize, I'm sure last thing you probably wanted was another Afghan or something like that in your house, and especially with your new house, your apartment. So we figured you needed places like to get, something to eat. I know you like going to Culver's. You might need some stuff for your new apartment, so we got you stuff you can go shopping at Walmart. Maybe you need some fuel to get back and forth to church on Sunday, so we got you gift cards for fuel. Something stuff in Kohl's. So this is a gift from the congregation that I will give to you. And I also wanted to thank the people on the board here, because without their help today, this would not happen. I give you the letters from Congratulations, Jane. Happy retirement. Please join us after church in the fellowship hall for some cake and ice cream, or cake and finger foods and drinks.